Look, this Soros-backed group is looking to buy the second largest radio station group in the country. We're talking over 200 radio stations across more than 40 markets. Some of them are in Pennsylvania, in Virginia, and Florida.
So if you thought the mainstream media was dead before and that the fake woke mafia media was far left radical leaning, well, guess what? It's just about to get worse. Now, I don't know how many of you actually listen to the radio. Me, I always do my due diligence and I scour every resource. But to me, the most viable resources for actually getting authentic content and information really comes from independent media and really people I trust, kind of like what I'm doing here, who think for themselves and critically think about things and share them. Let me give you a little bit more context. So the FCC seemingly approved a deal that would fast track left-wing billionaire George Soros, who I've said many, many times is part of the cabal, the consortium, the Obamas, the Clintons, really the most anti-American individual behind a lot of these policies that have destroyed my state, destroyed other people's states, all these cities being overrun with criminals, cartels, thugs, illegal migrants, and a whole lot worse. New York Post first reported the FCC last week adopted an order to approve Soros's purchase of more than 200 radio stations in 40 markets just weeks before the presidential election. I mean, we are literally like 4.5 weeks. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's September 24th. We are so close, almost 30 days away from the most consequential election of our lives. So this could potentially allow the far left kingmaker to reach more than 165 million Americans at a critical time. And they have the audacity to shout election interference to Donald Trump and to Putin and to Russia when just yesterday, Volodymyr Zelensky, I did a video on this, visited a swing state campaigning against Trump and Vance while signing bombs with Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. So let's just be clear here. I just want to be clear here. So Soros is set to acquire 200 radio stations almost instantaneously, stations that will reach 165 million Americans in 40 key markets just weeks before a pivotal national election, and they decided to skip a review process? How does that make any sense at all? And how is this being achieved with a fast-tracked waiver that not only bypasses the 25% foreign ownership cap, but also avoids a proper national security review? My fellow Americans, this is the very definition of threat to democracy. This is the very definition of backroom deals for favored elitists. Am I nuts? I mean, you tell me. Meanwhile, the very same FCC, under the guise of antitrust concerns, has trained its sights on Elon Musk's Starlink, a company serving fewer than 2 million customers globally, decrying it as a potential monopoly. Contrast that with Soros, whose $400 million bailout of this conglomerate Audacity, poised to make him the dominant force in U.S. radio. And he's given the red carpet treatment by the commission, more concerned with advancing leftist media, it seems, than ensuring equal application of the law. Don't get it twisted. Soros is the Democrat Party's largest donor. He's not just a man with deep pockets. This is a guy who has deep influence, steering the progressive movement, and now poised to control a significant portion of the airwaves. The left is handing their biggest megaphone to their biggest benefactor, and they do so with a big, fat smile. Every freedom-loving American needs to wake up and demand that this shameful capitulation to leftist power be stopped. The best way that I think we can combat this is to exercise our critical thinking. Don't believe anything. You thought the mainstream media, as I said at the top of this video, if you thought the mainstream media was corrupt, completely biased, completely dishonest, deceitful, and left-leaning, and really doesn't give Trump any fair shake, or really anybody who's not a far radical leftist, any fair expression or any fair medium, this is living proof. This is the personification of that. And it is more indicative, more imperative that we execute our sovereignty, as I've said time and time again. A mission of this channel is to remind you of your critical thinking. The Russians, nobody, Soros, MSNBC, ABC, CNN, nobody has control over you. You are in control of your own way of looking at things. You have a choice on whether to say, they're saying this about Trump, they're saying that. No, you have a choice. This is nothing new. They've been doing this forever. We know the mainstream media is completely corrupt. We know the fake woke media mafia is completely wrong, completely biased, completely skews everything to favor whatever propaganda, whatever agenda that they want to achieve. We know that. We have living proof. Check this out.
CNN edited a video to make it appear as though Trump impatiently dumped a box of fish food into the water in Japan. The full video showed Trump had simply followed the lead of Japan's prime minister. In June 2017, NBC News reported that Russian President Putin said he had compromising information about Trump. Actually, Putin said the opposite.
Do you have something damaging on our president?
Well, this is just another load of nonsense. Where would we get this information from?
The New York Times and CNN shared a story with photos of immigrant children in cages. It turns out the photos were from 2014, during the Obama administration. In November 2019, Newsweek falsely reported that President Trump was spending Thanksgiving golfing in Florida. He was actually in Afghanistan serving dinner to U.S. troops.
Good morning.
CBS aired a story in March of 2020, supposedly showing a New York hospital crowded with patients.
It's all hands on deck in America's hospitals.
It was actually file tape from Italy. A week later, CBS News mistakenly used the Italy video again. In May, the BBC and The Guardian reported because Trump wasn't wearing headsets, he didn't bother to listen to the translation of a speech by Italy's prime minister. But Trump was wearing his earpiece in his right ear, as always, said the White House. Newsweek reported Poland's first lady refused to shake Trump's hand, but later acknowledged she did.
The media has widely and repeatedly reported Trump's words out of context in ways that disfigure what he actually said. Now, it's difficult to tell whether these are honest mistakes or deliberate lies, but they did this by cutting out words that he said in close proximity to one another, sometimes within seconds. Here's 9 prime examples. 1. The media widely reported that Trump called immigrants animals. In reality, Trump used the word animals to describe murderous illegal aliens like MS-13 gang members, not immigrants in general. 2. The media widely reported that Trump threatened a bloodbath if he loses the election. In reality, Trump used the term bloodbath to describe what 4 more years of Biden's policies would do to the United States, particularly to the auto industry. 3. The media widely reported that Trump praised white supremacists as very fine people. In reality, Trump called them very bad people, stated that he condemned them, and said that the very fine people were those who showed up to innocently protest. 4. The media widely reported that Trump said he would use the FBI and DOJ to go after his political opponents. In reality, Trump said that Biden sicked the FBI and DOJ on his political opponents, and this could happen in reverse, but the people aren't going to stand for it. 5. The media widely reported that Trump told governors to dominate protesters during the 2020 George Floyd riots. And for good measure, CNN's Anderson Cooper took it another step further by saying that Trump seems to think that dominating black people, dominating peaceful protesters, is law and order. In reality, Trump said that he is an ally of all peaceful protesters, and that governors have a duty to protect innocent people from professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters. 6. The media widely reported that Trump encouraged the Capitol Hill riot by urging his supporters to fight like hell. In reality, Trump told his supporters to march over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. 7. The media widely reported that Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. In fact, Trump said that he is not going to be a dictator except for day one to close the border and drill, drill, drill. The interviewer replied, "That sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president." And Trump said, "That's exactly right." 8. The media widely reported that Trump called for Russia to hack Hillary Clinton's emails. In reality, Trump repeatedly stated that China, Russia, or an independent hacker has probably already hacked Clinton's illegal email server. And if they did, they should release the 33,000 emails that Clinton destroyed after she received a subpoena for them. 9. The media widely reported that Trump told Republicans to vote against the border security bill because he didn't want the crisis fixed while Biden was president. In reality, the bill was loaded with loopholes that permit and reward illegal immigration. And Trump wrote that he opposes the bill because it, quote, only gives shutdown authority after 5,000 encounters a day when we already have the right to close the border now, which must be done. So, when media outlets report on what Trump says, ask yourself, what did he say that they didn't report?
Share this video with everybody you know. This is the real crux of my entire premise, my entire ethos and mission of this channel. This is why I left the public sector. I left the indoctrination camps, aka higher learning and higher education, and now I'm giving it away all for free because I want my country back. I want my fellow American citizens to be informed, because when we have an informed citizenry, they make informed decisions. And when they make informed decisions, that helps you, that helps me, especially at the ballot box. We're not going to be fooled. Soros, hey, George, hey, Georgie boy, you can buy 6,000. Hey, why buy 200 radio stations? Buy every single radio station. It don't matter, because mainstream media is dying. It's dying a very slow death, but it's dying. And eventually we're going to finally scoop that last little clump of dirt over you and everybody else in this fake, woke, election interfering, treasonous industry, because people like me, independent media channels, podcasts, YouTube channels, etc., we're giving the American people the truth. And so you guys have no power over us because we're exercising our sovereignty, as Thomas Jefferson said, critical thinking, self-reliance, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Whitman. That is the American spirit. That is what Americans have over everything. And that is the same energy that ignited and spawned this beautiful, glorious constitutional republic. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Please tap that thumbs up. It's free. It helps us push our video out to more people. It's not for me. It's for our country. If you love our country, tap the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think down below. Let me know if you're going to be fooled ever again by Soros and the woke fake mafia media. I can't wait to hear from you. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Follow and subscribe over there. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.